In this video, I'm going to show you how to cut identical pieces. The first thing I do is lay out my fabric and look at it, because what I want to do is cut identical pieces, so I have to find a road map of where I'm going to cut. So the first thing I notice is I'm looking for a big motif in here and to see the repeat of the fabric. And here you can see this reddish poppy. There's another one here. There's another one over here and another one over here. So it appears that across this half of the fabric, there are running two lengths of motifs and a cat. So I'm going to cut on a line between this flower and this flower. So I have that piece, and I'll do the same for the other side too, and that will give me two strips out of this length, just one half of the length of the yardage. So I have my two pieces of fabric that I have cut, and I'm going to look for my poppy. I'm going to use this one as the bottom. There's my poppy. So I'm going to place that there on the bottom, and then the idea is to layer these to match them up. So I'm going to take my next piece, which is a poppy, and put it on top. And I'm looking at this side, and I can see my motif, so it's very easy to line that up. Now, in order to make sure that the poppy is the same, I'm going to stick a pin straight down through that center. I'm going to lift up and see and make sure. And it's just maybe a teeny off. Let's see. Whoops. That looks perfect. And now I'm going to repeat my layering so that I have 4 layers of fabric. Cut the size according to the instructions for the project you're making. I'm going to cut mine 10 3/4. So we're cutting these essentially into squares is really what we're doing. I'm going to turn this way in order to make my next cut. 10 3/4 right here. Now I'll clean up the other edge, and then we'll be ready to make our triangles, which is the fun part. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is cut the square in half diagonally, just corner to corner, right on the point, and then I'm going to cut it the other way too. I think I'll go around the table, it's easier. Excuse me. And I'm going to do that point to point as well. And now the magic begins. Now you're going to see why we have 4 layers of fabric. I'm going to take all but the poppy triangles out, and now I'm going to take the layers apart and lay them all out and see how the pattern is. This is why we call it identical pieces, because then you have a spiral. It's kind of like creating a whole nother fabric. Let me do another one for you just so you can see it. Okay, here's another stack. And this is an orange poppy. So look how you're going to get a totally different look, because now you've essentially got a red block and an orange block, and so they look very different even though they're the same fabric. So as you can see, this really transforms the look of the fabric. And look at this. It has the scroll in the center, which isn't even a motif at all in the fabric as it is, but we've made a whole different motif just by cutting the identical pieces and then sewing them together. So this is a fun and interesting thing you can do with fabric, to kind of take fabric and make your own fabric. So that's how to cut identical pieces. For more Sew Easy lessons, go to fonsandporter.com.